Hello guys, this is my first video ever with commentary. So let's go ahead and get started. There's one thing that someone asked me earlier, and that is, what do you do to find out how much camber you need for your front tires? Because sometimes you lose grip if it's at 0, or sometimes it doesn't grip at all because it's too cambered out at whatever you have it at, 7, 10. I know you all want that look, that like angled in look to where the tire meets the fender. So here's an easy way to figure out which camber works for you. What you're gonna do is, well, I usually go ahead and pull up the tire guide right here, the stat guide. Take a lap or two, take a lap around the track, the test track, obviously. Well, if you play this game a lot, just take a quick lap, try to stay in the lane, and it tells you your tire contact below the green. You see those little bars that are just like going up and down, up and down, up and down? Okay, well, that's your contact with your tire against the pavement. So what you want to do is, when you're taking the turns, is you want those to actually be flat. Right now it looks like long, medium, short, shorter, right? Okay, well, when you start drifting, you want them to be flat, like that. Those are almost perfectly flat. That's how you know it's the right camber for you. Almost flat. That means you're having full contact equally with the tire. The tire's almost completely flat against the ground as you're drifting. And that's kind of what you're looking for, is that even contact. So that's how you find out the camber that you need for your car. And then that's how you work it with any car, really. It's not just the C6, it's with any car. Just go into your dyno stand, and start playing with it. Figure out which camber works for you. You want full contact during your drift. As you're sideways, you want those to be even, those bars. Also, another little tip is that when you see like that and you like spin out, to help prevent the spinning out, you can use your brake, your actual brake, as you're drifting sideways. And to prevent you from spinning out while you're using your brake is pretty simple. You just go into your dyno stand. See it? You press the brake, you don't spin out because the front brakes aren't. Well, I have it set to where it's geared more towards the rear. So you're using more of the rear brakes than the front brakes. And I'll just go ahead and show you how to do that real quick. Pretty good looking car, huh? This is the one without the roll cage. This is just the basic model that I got. I just put a wide body kit, quarter panels, and front fenders. I kept everything else stock. Stock rear bumper, stock side skirts, stock front bumper. So here's what I'm talking about with the brakes, the brake balance. So I have it set at 40% towards the rear. So as you press the brakes, the front brakes don't kick in as hard as the front brake, or as the rear brakes. I just messed that up probably. Oh well. So what you want to do is while you're drifting, if you want to press the brakes, your back brakes are working more than your front brakes. Because if you use your front brakes, if it's set to like 55 front, you're going to be using more of your front brakes, and you will end up spinning out every time you are in a turn and press the brakes, if that makes sense. I also have my brake effort at 4800. I usually have it set at 1800, but this has like basic suspension to it, so I can't really modify that right now. But yeah, if you have any other questions, just go ahead and shoot me a comment. I will show you what tuning I have done to it right now. I mean, I haven't messed with the transmission yet. Maybe in the next video. The engine, the rev limiter, I always put it up maxed out. Gives you higher end power. For the tires, I have the fat rear end tires, so it's a little bit more grippier in the back. Plus it looks good. I have my profile at 35%. I have 19s on these. You can go 18s. I like the 19s, they look good. Tire pressure. I want more grip in the front, less grip in the back. Therefore, I have 1.5 bar in the front, 2.3 in the rear. Let's see, the camber. So I did play around with it. I have -6 right now. That's as low as I can go. If I can go like -6.1, -6.2, it's possible for those the tire gauge or the tire guide bars to be completely level, completely even across the board. But I do not have that right now. My caster angle is set at 6.5. Steering angle only at 55. If I have the option to, I usually max it out to 65 now that there's an option for that. My toe, I do have -0.5 in the front and +0.3 in the rear. This is essential for keeping your car from spinning out, basically. Like, and the sharp turns, the sharp corners, everything. The stabilizer, you just want it connected in the back. You just want your wheels connected. It doesn't have to be the strongest connection, but you want it to be connected. So I have 0.1 in the rear and 0.3 in the front, just so it's a little bit more stiffer, a little bit more sturdier in the front. My cross axis wheel tilt, I have at 5 degrees. My wheel axis offset, I have at 5 millimeters. Wheel offset, I have at 150, 140, and I did that to accommodate the wheels that I have on there first. All these settings are going to be different depending on the wheels and tires you put on your car. Your bump, I have at 6300, 3150. Well, here you go. The bump, fast bump, fast rebound, and then my spring height. This Corvette, I was going for looks. So, I was going for looks and functionality. This isn't my Drift C6, believe it or not. This is just my toying around one that looks good. Like I said, it is the basic model that you can get. I think it's pretty cheap. You can get it for like 150,000, something, 350,000. I don't know, something like that. Something pretty cheap that you can definitely work towards and afford. Spring stiffness, I always do a little bit softer in the rear, just so it has a little bit more play. But yeah, this is my C6, and I did swap the motor I do not have the LS motor in this one. I decided to play with it a little bit. And I do have the VR30 whatever, VR33, VR35 in here. Which gives it, the capability of having more horsepower than the LS3. Let's see if we can drift this on there. But yeah, if you guys have any other questions on tuning, I can try to help you out as much as I can. Gear shifting is very important. You definitely want a manual car. If you don't know how to drive a manual car in the game, learn. Shifting gears is very essential. Like this is a third gear, you could drop down to second for this turn, and you could stay there and not spin out. And then you have third gear turns. Well, it also depends on what gear ratio you have too, which I said we can go over in another video. But yeah, happy drifting, guys. No clipping in the front. You always want to make sure you have that wheel clearance without touching. Alright, well, have a good day. Meet me in the comments. Peace.